Alright, so now let's start discussing the sketch features in Fusion 360, and I'll start with the polygon and slot tool. So here on the sketch panel, the polygon tool is right here, and we can actually make polygons using these three options. So using just any of these three options, you can make a polygon, which is basically a closed curve with n number of sides. So the smallest polygon is, well, triangle with 3 sides, and you can make a square, pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, and so on. The largest polygon theoretically is a circle, and well, you won't need that because you already have a circle tool here, so you can just make circle using this circle command. You won't need polygon tool for making a circle. So now to make a polygon, I'm going to start with circumscribed polygon. We'll also understand what these two things are in a moment. First, let's start making the circumscribed polygon. So I'll click here, and as always, we need to select the plane on which we'll make this. So I'll select this plane. All right. Now, on our cursor tooltip, we can clearly see that we need to place the center point. Here it's mentioned clearly. So we need to specify the center point, and I'll click here, the origin, and that's going to be the center point. Now, we have two options. We have the radius as well as the number of sides, and we can change both of these values to make this circumscribed polygon. Now, in this case, this polygon is circumscribed because this is outside this circle. So as you can see, this polygon, or a hexagon in this case, is circumscribed about this red circle, and this kind of polygon is called circumscribed. So in this case, we are not actually specifying the dimensions of the polygon, rather we're specifying the radius of this circumscribed polygon and also the number of sides for this polygon. So as you can clearly see here, this line is the radius line, and it's, in this case, in case of circumscribed polygon, it's connecting the center of polygon and circle with the midpoint of the polygon. All right, so let's add these values. So here I'm going to type maybe 36 for the radius, and I'll press tab key. And when we do that, the length of 36 will be logged. You can see that padlock icon also. And now you can enter number of sides. By default, 6 is the number of sides, but let's make it a pentagon. So I'm going to type 5, and look at this. It will change the value. And you can click anywhere now to make the polygon, or you can also press enter to finish the polygon like this. And we'll end up with this. Now this polygon is constrained, and if you move it, if you try to move it, you will be able to obviously change the direction, but you won't be able to change the length, number of sides, and you won't be able to deform it using its vertices also, because its geometry is constrained. Although it is not yet fully constrained, and you need to add more constraints here in order to make it completely constrained. Now let's make the circumscribed polygon. So I'll go to a new drawing, and I'm going to go to sketch and polygon and inscribed polygon. And once again, select a plane or a face, and we need to start from the center, just like the last polygon. But now again, we have the same workflow, but this time we are making an inscribed polygon. So as you can see, in this case, the reference circle is this one, this red circle, and the polygon in this case is inside, not outside. So in case of circumscribed, the polygon was outside the circle, and in case of inscribed, the polygon is inside the circle. So that's the difference. Another difference is in this radius line. In the previous case, this radius line was connecting the center with the midpoint of polygon, and the midpoint of polygon was actually on the circle as well. But in this case, this radius line is connecting the center with the vertex of polygon, and the vertex of polygon is currently touching the circle. So that's another difference. And again, in this case, you need to specify the radius of circle and the number of sides. So let's type maybe 36 again here, and tab key, and number of sides, let's make it 7 this time, or maybe 8. So 8, and enter. And here it is. So this is inscribed polygon with a radius of 36 unit. Now there is also a third kind of polygon, and in this case you don't need to specify the radius of inscribed or circumscribed circle. So I'm going to go to sketch and I'll go to polygon and edge polygon. Now in this case you need to just specify the edge length. So I'll select it, and again I'm going to go to a face, this one, and now you need to specify the first point. So let's click here, that's the first point, and then you need to specify the second point. Now this second point will become the edge length. So you can click dynamically at a point to specify the second point, or you can also add the value. In this case I'm going to just click anywhere at this point, and now we'll have our polygon. So this length will be the length of all the sides of this polygon as well. It is approximately 36, not exactly 36, because I clicked randomly on my screen. But now we have an option of changing the number of sides, which is 6. So let's change it to maybe 7. And now we have heptagon. So we have 7 sides. You can click either above or below this to make the polygon like this. And I'll press escape. So in this case, just by changing one of the side of this polygon, you can change the length of all the sides. So I'm gonna now type D for dimension, and I'll select this edge, and I'll make sure that this edge length is not horizontal or vertical. It should be parallel to this edge. So here it's like this. Now this looks parallel, so yep, it is. I'm going to click here, and this is the length, 36.409. Let's make it 40, and I'll press enter, and look at this. Now all the sides are 40 unit, and that's our edge length polygon. So let's quickly go back to the first polygon. This one was circumscribed, and in case of circumscribed, the polygon is made outside the circle. And if you want to make that circle, well, you can go to 3-point circle and click on the 3 midpoints. So here's the first midpoint, and then we have the second midpoint and the third midpoint, and look at this. This was our reference circle. The radius of this circle should be 36, and this circle is connecting the midpoint of this edge with the center. Let's go to the second option. Here also, if you want to make that reference circle, again you can select 3-point, and since this is inscribed, so this polygon should be inside our reference circle. So I'm going to click on 3 edges, any 3 edges, and this is what we have. So in this case, this 36 unit is the length from center to this edge, or from center to this vertex, and it is touching the circle here. And for this edge length, well, we do not use any circle for this, so that's our edge length polygon.